10 years ago, Ballantyne was all about office parks and golf courses. Now it is turning into one of North Carolina's biggest mixed-use projects with over $1.3 billion already invested. But a lot of buyers are making a huge mistake by treating Ballantyne as one big neighborhood. I've been in Charlotte market for almost 30 years, and today I'm walking you through every sub area, price range, and where you can still find real value here in 2026. I'm starting with the basics because context is everything in this market. Charlotte's got about 943,000 people and counting, one of the fastest growing cities here in the Southeast, and the growth is showing up big time in neighborhoods like Ballantyne. The South Corridor is handling a lot of that growth, and the city isn't slowing down at all. Ballantyne is way down in the far south part of Charlotte, right off of I-485 near South Carolina border, and that positioning has a real impact on how you experience the city. You get the suburban master planned lifestyle, but still have quick access to uptown, the airport, and the major job hubs without having to fight through the traffic of Midtown or South End. Now, the median sales price in Ballantyne is way higher than the overall Charlotte median price. The city in the high $300,000 to $400,000 price point, but Ballantyne East is seeing prices in the high $500,000 prices. That gap is all about location, schools, infrastructure, and big corporate investments in the area. Homes here range from the high 500,000s to over $1 million price point, depending on the section, how old the home is, and the upgrades it currently has. But here's what you really need to focus on: month of supply. This number tells you who's got the leverage in the market at any given time. When the month of supply drops below 4, sellers have the upper hand. When it goes above 5 or 6, buyers start getting some negotiating power. Ballantyne was more balanced, or a buyer leaning towards the end of 2025. This is a big shift from where we were in 2022 and 2023. Translation: if you've been watching Ballantyne from the sidelines, hoping for a bit more room to negotiate, that window might be opening slightly compared to the tight market of the last couple of years. And when we get into the suburban areas here, you'll see why that breathing room isn't spreading evenly across Ballantyne. Some pockets are playing by completely different rules. But anyway, that doesn't mean you should lowball. Well-priced homes are still getting strong offers close to their listing price. And you've got a little breathing room than you did a couple of years ago. Just remember, always check the latest MLS data before you make a move. Reach out to an agent who knows the things, because things change fast and you must get live data before you truly act. Now, let's dig into what your dollar actually gets you in Ballantyne across 3 very different price ranges. But first, if you're seriously looking at Ballantyne right now, this is exactly the kind of market where having someone who knows South Charlotte inside and out really makes a difference. Whether you're relocating, upsizing, or figuring out which area is the best fit for you, let's talk. My contact information is in the description below. So Ballantyne is really one of the hottest spots in town, and you definitely need to pay attention to it. One sub area here saw a massive 35.9% year-over-year growth as of January 2026. That kind of jump is a clear sign of where the big players are investing, and it's telling you exactly where the value is. But before we dive into which part of Ballantyne that is, let's break down what each price point really gets you, because that's where a lot of buyers get surprised. In the high $500,000 to low $700,000, you're looking at a 3 to 4 bedroom home that were built in the early 90s or possibly the 2000s. These neighborhoods are established, they got mature trees, settled infrastructure, and neighbors who have been around for years. The homes usually range from about 2,000 square feet to 3,000 square feet, Lot sizes tend to be a bit smaller, and most communities in this range come with the HOA fees. The bones of these homes are solid, but you're not getting brand new renovated house. You'll probably need to update a few things here and there. You're paying for location and the schools, not a fresh coat of paint in the kitchen. Now, once you've hit that $800,000 price mark, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. We're talking about homes that are 3,000, 4,000 square foot range with updated kitchens and more modern primary suites. These neighborhoods usually have mature landscapings and that newer communities that can't be beat. Some homes in this range have been fully renovated, not just a little bit of paint job and some new carpet, but full kitchens and bath upgrades. And don't forget, HOA fees and Ballantynes can vary more than you might think, and they factor into your mortgage qualifications and your monthly spend. That could change your buying power, so keep that in mind. Also, in this price range, you'll start seeing luxury townhomes. These are a solid option, especially as Ballantyne's walkable areas develop more. If you're into low maintenance living but still want decent square footage, definitely consider the townhome market here. Once you're over $1 million, things get really interesting. Now we're talking about custom builds and homes that have been completely renovated. You're looking at 4,000 square feet at a minimum, and often well beyond 6,000 square feet. These homes come with large lots, golf course views, and some of them are with gated communities. The Ballantyne Country Club and Providence Country Club areas dominate this segment. Expect stately brick architect, private club amenities, and finishes you just don't see in the mid 500 price points. So, across all three price ranges, what's the common theme? Location, location, location. Ballantyne offers a solid foundation of established infrastructure, proximity to major corporate hubs, quality schools, and retail that's taken years to develop. Whether it's worth it depends on your lifestyle and your long-term plans. Not all Ballantyne is created equal though. A lot of buyers come into Ballantyne and get frustrated when the prices don't make sense. Well, the thing is, Ballantyne isn't one neighborhood. There are three distinct pockets with different personalities, price points, and trade-offs. Let me walk you through each one of these. Ballantyne Country Club is the original prestige pocket and the area that saw 35.9% year-over-year growth we talked about earlier. It's anchored by the 18-hole championship golf course designed by Reese Jones, and you've got tennis, pickleball, resort-style pools, fitness centers, and dining on site. Homes here were built mostly in the early 2000s. Think brick, classic design, and well-established lots. Prices run from the high $700,000 to well over $3 million, with the median price around $1.5 million as early as 2026. Before you fall in love with the floor plan, take a look at the total monthly cost. That includes HOA dues, taxes, insurance, and membership fees. And those do add up, so it is make sure you look at the total so it fits into your budget correctly, not just the list price. Then we've got the area around Ballantyne Corporate Park. This is a transition zone, and it's moving fast. It is the heart of Ballantyne Reimagined, that project. Right now, it's a mix of townhomes and single-family homes and walkability to the retail spots in the improving area. The walk score here ranged from the low 30s to the mid 60s, which is solid progress for South Charlotte suburbs, absolutely. Townhomes here range from the mid 300s to the mid $800,000 price point. Single family homes typically priced in the mid 400s to the low $500,000. This is mostly dynamic sub area in the terms of development, but that also means construction disruptions in the short term. Now, southern edge towards the South Carolina border is the newest and most actively developing area. If you're open to new construction, this is where you'll find the most action. Builders like Toll Brothers, Pulte Homes, and Ryan Homes are already here with different townhomes starting in the mid $300,000 price point and some single family homes varying widely by the builders in the different communities. Right now, builder incentives are common, but I'll dive into how to evaluate those few minutes because the math really is more important than just the marketing. Quick note here, no matter which area you're looking at, always calculate your total monthly payments. List price, HOA dues, property taxes, and insurance. Mecklenburg County's property tax rate is 49.27 cents per $100 of assessed value. So on a $600,000 home, that's roughly $3,000 a year in taxes alone. Don't just focus on the price tag. Make sure you run the full gamut of numbers. This is the case across all three areas here in Ballantyne. So no matter where you end up, you're getting consistent quality schools. That is a big advantage because in Ballantyne, that's a lot of what people overlook. Now, the full picture, real advantages, real trade-offs, and what each of these areas actually means for your decision. No neighborhood is perfect. And if your agent is telling you otherwise, they're not doing their job. Let me break down the full story for you because both the good and the bad. One of Ballantyne's biggest advantages is the established shopping. Yes, and don't forget the dining scenes also. Ballantyne Village has boutique shops, restaurants, and even a movie theater. Stonecrest at Piper Glen, which brings in more dining options. And this year, we are getting a Wegmans, the first in Charlotte. Grocery stores like that are real quality of life factors, and they have a measurable effect on long-term property values too. Another big pro is the strong resale history. Compared to other outer suburbs or newer communities still being built, their track records, Ballantyne's been around long enough to prove that demand here stays steady. That kind of draw has a way of showing up in your favor when you're ready to sell. And by the way, we got easy access to I-485 and one of most Ballantyne's underrated advantages. Why? Because it gives you the obviously expectations and experience of life. Ballantyne's just about 21 minutes to Uptown, 19 minutes to South End, and roughly 20 minutes to the airport. If you're living on the south side of the outer belt, that kind of positioning is tough to beat. And then there's the schools. You got J.M. Robinson for the middle, which is a perfect 10 out of 10 on greatschools.org. And Audrey Kell for the high school is a 9 out of 10 with a 95% graduation rate, well above the state average of 87.7. For families, these numbers carry some real weight in their home search. The most obvious trade-off is higher entry price. Ballantyne commands a premium over many Charlotte neighborhoods. For example, Steel Creek runs in the low to mid 400s price point. Fort Mill and TKK just across the border in South Carolina offer similar lifestyles, but at a comparable or higher price point to get in. You're paying for something real here, but you need to decide if it matters and matches up to your priorities. HOA restrictions are another trade-off that can be surprising. As we talked about earlier, HOA fees in Ballantyne vary, and these fees are legally enforceable. Associations can fine homeowners and even put liens on properties for unpaid assessments. Plus, those HOA fees can affect your mortgage qualifications, which means your actual borrowing capacity might be a little bit lower than what you were expecting. So, always know what you're getting into before you close. Now, finally, the traffic. Johnston Road, Ray Road, and Ballantyne Commons Parkway can get really slow during peak commute hours. And the more retail and homes coming in, that's not going to improve anytime soon. Every neighborhood has trade-offs. The question is, does Ballantyne lifestyle match how you actually live day to day? A big part of that answer depends on where Ballantyne's development story goes from here, because the Ballantyne Reimagined project is already changing the math completely. Over $1.3 billion has been committed. 535 acres are under transformation, and a residential tower just opened last year. Ballantyne Reimagined is no longer on paper. It's being built today, and that changes the conversation for buyers. Northwood Investors is turning the original Ballantyne Corporate Parkway into what they're calling an 18-hour destination. Basically, it's going way beyond the old 9-to-5 corporate model. Over $111 million has already gone into the infrastructure alone. So, what's actually here? Stream Park, a 6-acre community park, was completed in 2023. The Ballantyne Amphitheater opened the same year. Then there's the Lower McAlpine Creek Greenway extension that wrapped up completion in October 23. The Bowl, which is the retail and dining district, is opening and already expanding currently. You got spots like Brazier, Copeland, and Postino's, and you also got Oro Ballantyne, the 26-story residential tower that just opened in December 2025. Wegmans is looking to open here in mid-2026, and more multifamily and townhome developments are still in the pipeline. What's also worth knowing is that the City of Charlotte's 2055 transit system plan includes proposed Blue Line extension to Ballantyne. Now, that's a long-term project, but when infrastructure like that is planned, it tends to push demand up even before construction begins. For buyers, mixed-use development like this has pretty solid track record of boosting residential values. In Ballantyne, we've already seen prices climb, and that's a 35.9% year-over-year appreciation in Ballantyne Country Club corridor is that perfect example. When serious institutional capital is reshaping a community like this, it tends to push values up quickly. But more density also means more traffic. That growth is putting more pressure on Johnson Roads and Ballantyne Commons Parkway. As more retail and residential spaces come online, that's a trade-off you have to weigh. All right, so if you're looking at new construction on the southern edge, builders are doing everything they can to compete for buyers in this high rate environment. Right now, there are two types of incentives you mostly see. First, the 2-1 buy down. This reduces your interest rate by 2% points in the first year, 1 percentage point in the second year, and then it goes back to the full rate for the rest of the loan. So for an example, if you got a 6.875 rate, you pay 4.875 first year, 5.875 in the second year, and then 6.875 from year 3 onward. The savings are real for the first couple of years, but it's a permanent rate that really matters long term. Second, there are closing cost credits. Right now, they can be up to around $10,000 in our Charlotte market. What this really means, don't get swayed by a low first year payment. Always do the math at the full rate. Make sure that the payment works for you long term, not just for the first 1 or 2 years. That's the number you really need to focus on to protect yourself down the road. Ballantyne's premium is based on land value, smart investments, and infrastructure that most of South Charlotte has spent decades trying to replicate. Buyers who know which sub areas to target are the ones in the best position. If you're looking at Ballantyne and want to know exactly which streets, price ranges, and sub areas are the best long-term potential, shoot me an email at mark@albrecht.com. I'll walk you through what the current inventory really looks like for you personally. I've also linked a video right here that covers the Charlotte's old money lives, Myers Park, Eastover, Foxcroft, and why all these areas are doing well and which one is actually outpacing Myers Park in price per square foot currently. Ballantyne has your attention. That one will totally shift how you think about Charlotte's luxury real estate market. Until next time, I hope to see you around town.